Hello everyone, I'm back. Garrett Elysiums, and this is my part 28 of my new CD purchases. Now, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Help support my channel, get updates every time I post a video. So I've been pretty busy lately. Haven't really showed off what I got. Do have two decent stacks here. Separated my digipacks so they don't get crushed under my jewel cases. And we're gonna get right into it. We got a lot to show in this one. This one is basically more leaning on the metal side. Also some hard rock as always. And some glimpses of new metal actually. Alright, next up. Incauda Venenum, if I'm saying that right. The latest out from Opeth. This is the extended edition. 3-disc released on Atomic Fire Records this year in 2022. Disc 1 is the English version of the album. Disc 2 is the Swedish version of the album. And Disc 3 was bonus tracks, which is actually 6 bonus tracks. Awesome artwork on this album. I'm not that familiar with this one. I remember listening to it when it first came out. Haven't really listened to it since, so I'm going to put that on and check it out. Next, we got 1349, The Infernal Pathway. 1349, I feel like it's a very underrated band. I really like them. I remember seeing them live. I want to say maybe would have been like almost 8 years ago. Really awesome black metal band with touching on thrash and death metal. Stone Temple Pilots Purple. This is the newly remastered 2-disc deluxe edition. Features a second disc of basically just a bunch of demos, early versions, acoustic stuff, and some live stuff. Really cool acoustic versions of Big Empty on here, Interstate Love Song, Pretty Penny, and also a Christmas song, Christmas Time Is Here, which was from the Peanuts movie, I believe. Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown, whatever it's called. And then Tiny Music. This was the follow-up to Purple by Stone Temple Pilots. This is the 2-disc deluxe edition. 15 tracks on disc 2. Disc 1 is the original album remastered. Basically, disc 2 is a bunch of early versions again, some instrumental versions, alternate versions, and just different mixes. Then we grab this one, Ozzy, Memoirs of a Madman, basically 17-track, greatest hits compilation, everything from Blizzard of Oz up until his Scream album. And then this finally picked up on its own. Pearl Jam MTV Unplugged. This was released in 2020. No clue why it took so long for the guys to release this, especially with their other grunge contemporaries like Alice in Chains and Nirvana releasing such monster albums. MTV Unplugged albums, excuse me. This is more of an EP, I guess. I know it's a decent amount of time, but only 7 tracks on here. All stuff from the 10 sessions. This was originally released on CD on the 10th anniversary of... I'm sorry, I think it was the 15th anniversary of 10 or 20, 20th anniversary. Wow, I can't believe it's been that long. Yeah, 20th anniversary actually of 10. In a digibook is a special edition where you got the original album, you got the album again remixed, and then you had a 3rd disc. Oh, I'm sorry, 3rd disc was actually the DVD, now that I remember. So yeah, this is the first time this is released officially on CD. This was a Record Store Day exclusive on vinyl. I want to say probably 2019 or late 2018. I don't remember. Of 2019, I believe. I did pick it up on vinyl. Anyway, let's get back into it. Testament, their latest album, Titans of Creation. Awesome artwork there. I like the blue. Deftones, did mention some new metal. I've been trying to get back into Deftones. Love their first 3 albums. Their self-titled 4th album, they kind of lost me. I wasn't that into that album when it came out. Didn't really pay much attention to the band since then. This is the last one they released. This is Ohms. And one by Godsmack. I don't know if Godsmack's really considered new metal, but they are from that scene and that era. This is When Legends Rise. Some awesome black metal here with Tane. I actually bought this on vinyl. Found the CD. The Agony and Ecstasy of Watain. This is actually a pretty thick, durable digipack. Awesome artwork there. This one I have on vinyl. which came with a CD, but it's just kind of in one of those single sleeves, the clear ones. KK's Priests. What is it called? Sermons of the Sinner. Features KK Get Downing and why am I drawing a blank on his name? Tim Ripper Owens on vocals. Tim Ripper Owens obviously sang with Judas Priest in the late 90s and early 2000s before Rob Halford would come back to the band. And this one, Megadeth, Killing is My Business and Business is Good. Of course, I own this, but this is the Final Kill. This is a 2018 remix version. So I own the original remaster. This has a lot of live stuff on here, basically a whole live set, which is really good. It's the whole album actually live. And then remastered for 2000, I'm sorry, yeah, I said it right, 2018. All right, now we're going to get to jewel cases. First up, Napalm Death. This is Order of the Leech. More of a death metal rather than the grindcore, quick songs they released when they first started. Origin, really cool technical death metal album. Great instrumentalists in this album. This is called Informis Infinitus Inhumanitas. I remember grabbing, I can't remember the name of the album now. It's kind of a black one with the space. I don't remember. Anyway, I remember grabbing Origin just because I like the cover from Hot Topic, actually, years back. And loved the band ever since, actually. I just like the cover. This one I'm glad to have back in my collection. Overkill with their, in my opinion, their best album, The Years of Decay. Awesome thrash album. I already said it. Overkill's best album, in my opinion. Owned this, lost it. Really hard to find. Finally caved and just ordered it from Amazon. So glad to have that back in my collection. Another one back in my collection. Chaos AD by Sepultura. I'm not a huge fan of this. I feel like this is starting to be their downfall. This and Roots, I know, are huge bands. Huge albums for the band. They were huge sellers. A lot of people love them. But for me, I kind of like from the beginnings up until Arise. From this, I feel like they're going more of a like a 90s metal, closer to new metal sound. I feel like Sepultura was a big influence in new metal in the 90s, and just not a huge one for me. Next up, a guy that's getting a lot of hate lately, Chris Barnes with 6 Feet Under, This is Commandment. 10 tracks on here. Basically just, it's 6 Feet Under. I mean, a lot of their albums do sound alike, but it's still awesome death metal. This one I was excited to find. This is The Doors, called Welcome to the Soft Parade. This is an Italian pressing, released in 1989. I found it used for a decent price. Not the best sound, but like I said before in my past videos, I'm a big Doors fan, and I need this for my collection, so I'm glad to have that. Going back to new metal, I don't know if this is exactly new metal, but again, just like Godsmack was part of that era, part of that scene. I know a lot of people remember this band, Stereo Mud with Perfect Self. Really cool album. The song Pain was, I don't want to say a hit, but more the promo single that was actually given away at like record stores on those, compilations they used to do it back in the early 2000s. This is 2001. I remember actually hearing this album for the first time at Tower Records when this came out. I knew the song Pain and listened to the whole album, and I really liked it, so I'm glad to have it back again in my collection. Then I grabbed the latest by Rob Zombie, The Lunar Injection Kool-Aid Eclipse Conspiracy. Rob's coming up with some really creative album names at this point in his late in his career. 17 tracks on here. Good stuff. It's got John 5 on guitar. I'm a big fan of John 5. 2000 released on Nuclear Blast Records. This one's a guilty pleasure. I was excited to find this. Monster Bouts. You remember seeing this commercial? Like in the early 2000s? Actually, late 90s. 1999 this came out. 2-disc set of basically just 80s power ballads. But it's my guilty pleasure. It's some awesome stuff on here. Some stuff I don't think belongs, like Foreigners on here, Eddie Money, John Waite. Amanda by Boston, great song, but I don't think it belongs on here. Almost Paradise, Billy Idol. 38 Special, Bangles, In Excess. Like, that doesn't belong here, but overall, the rest of it's cool. This I'm glad to have back in my collection again, out in LA. Red Hot Chili Peppers. When I did my ranking video, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I realized I did not have this anymore. So I went and got it again. It's okay to throw on here and there. There's a lot of demo stuff on there, remixes, different vocal mixes, and then unreleased stuff at the end. Okay, album. And going back to what I was saying about nu metal again. This guy, again, huge influence in nu metal, more industrial, but I never really knew how to categorize this guy, and I needed some of this stuff to complete my collection. This is Eat Me, Drink Me by Marilyn Manson. I did own this before. Must not have liked it, got rid of it. I do remember the opening track, If I Was Your Vampire, off of this. This was kind of more of a doomy or depressing album from Manson. Not that his stuff is hugely upbeat. Anyway, this was the downfall of his marriage, I believe, or his breakup from Dita Von Teese. I don't remember if they were married or whatever, but it's either one of them. So it's kind of like his breakup album. Deftones, Diamond Eyes. Like I said, I was trying to get back into Deftones. I read online that a lot of people voted this their favorite Deftones album, so this was the next one I got. I do own the first 4 albums, and now the latest Ohms and Diamond Eyes. I did listen to this today. I do like it. It still doesn't beat White Pony for me. White Pony is my favorite. This was a cool little unofficial, official bootleg. Milwaukee Broadcast 1994. Ronnie's Birthday Show. Dio. Okay. Released in 1994. So this was right after Strange Highways. There's some songs from Strange Highways on here. Of course, stuff from Rainbow and Black Sabbath. And a lot of his awesome solo stuff like Stand Up and Shout, The Last in Line, We Rock, all that stuff. And then I grabbed this. Opus Eponymous. This is the major label debut by Ghost. Remember buying this when it came out and wasn't that into it. I seen that a lot of people have voted this their favorite Ghost album. Sounds a lot like Blue Oyster Cult, things like that. I'm a big fan of Blue Oyster Cult, so I grabbed it and I'm gonna give it another try. Another one from Manson. This is Heaven Upside Down from 2017. 10 tracks on here. I've never listened to this album before. I haven't listened to it yet, so not much I can say about this yet. But I'm definitely going to listen to it. Check it out. Pretty Reckless, Death by Rock and Roll. Their latest. I love this band. I think they're really, really good. I have their first 2 albums, and now I own this, so going to give this a listen. I only know the lead-off single, which opens the track, Death by Rock and Roll. Then we have Greta Van Fleet, Anthem of the Peaceful Army. Didn't own this one. I have their newest album. I have the EP, but I do not own this one. I kind of wrote them off and didn't pay much attention when I first heard them. I know the radio was playing and would just change it and didn't give them a chance. I did buy their newest album. I can't remember the name of it though. It's in that terrible, really, flimsy digipack, and I absolutely love that album. I feel like it has touches of prog on it. So I'm actually going backwards. I'm going to check this out. I guess not backwards because I went backwards to the EP and then this. So backwards then to the middle, I guess. Pink Floyd Works. Do not own this Pink Floyd album. Need it for my collection. Basically a compilation of a bunch of their songs, and also features Embryo on here, the last track on here, which is mainly, well, there's 2 reasons I got this, because I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan and need this for my collection, and I don't have the song Embryo, so now I have it. Another one I'm excited to have back in my collection, another metal album. This is Bloodbath, The Whack and Carnage. This is the 2-disc set, comes with the original live concert on CD, and then the second disc is the DVD of the entire concert. Awesome band. I remember buying this in when I first had it. It was in a thick digibook, and I remember watching that concert. And I just thought it was awesome. Of course, the cover's a little gory there, but I really like this stuff. I think it's a great album, especially for a live album. And this is the last one I grabbed by Marilyn Manson, High End of Low. I remember hearing this when it first came out. do like this album. This is a deluxe edition with 6 bonus tracks on it, which are basically just alternate versions and remixes, things like that. Murder Gnomes by Perfect Circle. Bought this when it came out. No longer have it. Have it back on my collection. This is the only album by Perfect Circle I really like. The other stuff I'm not a big fan of, but I absolutely love this album. And then this is the 1998 Eddie Face remaster of a real live dead one. So I own them singular, a real live one and a real dead one. Now I have it remastered 2-disc where it combines both albums. And yeah, basically need it for my Iron Maiden collection. I'm a big Iron Maiden fan, and I will do a video one day because I do have a complete collection of Iron Maiden stuff, not only just vinyl and CDs and cassettes, but I actually have figures and bottles and things like that. So one of these days I'm going to get to that. And last one from this, When You're Strange, the soundtrack to the film that was basically a biography of the Doors, narrated by Johnny Depp. This is really cool because there's 32 tracks on here. There's songs, poems, you know, readings by Johnny Depp, all that stuff on there. And I don't think I've owned this. I thought I bought it when it came out, but anyway, I still have it again. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching the video. Like I said at the top of the video, if you did not already, please hit that subscribe button. And this is my newest CD purchases, part 28. See you in the next video.